We live in a globalized economy. We can buy almost anything without giving a thought to where it came from or who produced it. The truth is, many of the products on your shopping list have been produced by exploited workers from the developing world. Sweatshops, forced labor, child labor, discrimination, denied freedom of association, unreasonable quotas, and abusive work environments pervade the labor conditions for these disenfranchised workers. The truth is, millions of people around the world toil under inhumane working conditions. The International Labor Rights Forum engages in dozens of campaigns to research, educate the public, support workers, and advocate for decent work around the world. We do this through 4 worldwide projects: Stop Child Labor, Freedom at Work, Creating a Sweat-Free World, and the Rights for Working Women.
Many years ago, or in the early 1990s, I was living in Indonesia, and I just through a series of connections met some young women factory workers who were working in the outskirts of Jakarta in export processing zones. Here they were, 24, 25 years old, realizing that this was the end of the road for them. They were never going to make more than $1 a day, if that, unless something dramatic changed. And the apologists wanted to say, well, those women are lucky to have jobs. Indonesia, it's such a poor country. But the women themselves didn't feel that way. They didn't feel like these jobs that they'd started at the age of 14 and 15 were so lucky for them. They wanted it to be better. And given what those corporations were making at the time, I also felt it was perfectly legitimate for them to want just a little bit more.
We think corporations play a key role, obviously, both in development and in combating poverty. However, corporations owe their primary responsibility to their shareholders. And with that, sometimes their decision-making can be distorted, trying to achieve the best possible price, trying to provide the cheapest possible product to the consumer at the cost of the workers who are producing that product.
Workers around the world face systematic barriers when they organize to have a voice on the job. As part of our work at the ILRF, we partner with trade unions, democratic cooperatives, and worker rights organizations to support the rights of workers to organize in their workplaces.
En general, la característica en Centroamérica es una violación más sostenida hacia lo que podríamos llamar el derecho colectivo. Exactamente, el derecho a la libertad de organización, entendida como la libertad de las personas a poder formar un sindicato.
Pensar en cambiarse de sindicato puede ser algo muy arriesgado por los procesos legales que tienen que seguir, que pueden ser muy largos y muy peligrosos en todos los sentidos, desde procedimientos eternos en los cuales tengan que confrontarse con los patrones, ser despedidos, golpeados, amenazados, secuestrados y tarden años en conseguir este registro sindical, que para cuando lo logren probablemente ni uno de los trabajadores sigan siendo empleados de esta empresa.
ILRF has worked since 1986 to fight for an end to child and forced labor globally. We are currently campaigning to end these abuses in the production of chocolate, tires, cotton, soccer balls, and many other products.
So major cocoa trading companies like Cargill and Archer Daniels Midland, who then sell to brands we recognize here in the US like Hershey and Nestle and Mars, they do not pay farmers a fair price for their cocoa beans. And as a result, they're forced to cut costs in various ways. And unfortunately, one of the ways that they do that is by using child labor or other kinds of exploited labor. And the companies have not taken appropriate responsibility for the conditions in their cocoa supply chains in the entire time that we've been putting pressure on them to do so.
We make the argument that trade and globalization are good for people because they bring jobs to people around the world. But if those people are trapped in poverty and working poverty for the rest of their lives, I'm not sure how much of a favor we do, particularly when there are alternatives, and the alternative is much more fair and ethical globalization that would uphold basic labor rights in these places.
Consumers have the right to demand humane labor standards for the workers that produce many of the goods they use every day. Join us now in ending labor rights abuses globally. To learn more, take action, and support ILRF's work, visit www.laborrights.org and help us build a just world for workers.